Alright guys, it's N60 Sean. This is how I would book Money in the Bank 2018. If you're watching this before Money in the Bank, let me know in the comments which ideas you like. If you're watching this after Money in the Bank has taken place, let me know which ideas you preferred, the stuff that actually happened in WWE or my ideas. Knowing that I put that out there, WWE is probably going to knock this one out of the park now and I'm going to look like a chump. Just as a side note, this isn't like a WWE do it better than my ideas kind of deal. Like, so I'm very much aware that the reality of writing for the WWE is a lot different than just thinking of ideas in my brain and then magically happening on all of our TVs. If only it was that easy, then I'm sure our wrestling would be in a different space than it is now. But I just fancy doing some fantasy booking videos, so here we go. This is how I would book Money in the Bank. Smash that like button, subscribe with notifications on, etc, etc, etc. So let's start with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So The Miz versus Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens versus Finn Bálor versus Bobby Roode versus Rusev versus Samoa Joe and a member of the New Day. So I feel like the whole Money in the Bank briefcase deal needs freshening up a little bit. We've done like the Mr. Mrs. Money in the Bank being a Weasley heel who cashes in and blags a championship so many times. I think it's only like 3 times I can recall where that hasn't happened. So I'd want to do something different this year. So which is what I'm torn between having the New Day or Braun Strowman win Money in the Bank. So here's my thinking behind the New Day. So first of all, I'd have every single member of the New Day in the ladder match. I know they're saying it's a member of the New Day, but it's a no disqualification match. Why wouldn't they just all run in and nobody knows who the actual legit member who's supposed to be winning the briefcase is? And that's one of the questions the commentators will be asking, but who's the actual person who's meant to be having the briefcase? And if they do win it, will you ever know? You could be like, you could have all 3 of them with like 2 could have like fake briefcases and like the faux cash-ins. You open up the briefcase and it's just full of pancakes or something. So you could do like quite a lot of new things if you had the mystery Money in the Bank holder of like which member of the New Day is it who's going to cash in for the WWE Championship. And that cash in would be interesting as well. Like, do you have just all 3 members of the New Day just beating down on whoever the WWE Champion is at the time, and then you just have, say for example, Kofi presented with the briefcase by like a chuffed looking Big E and Xavier Woods, and he cashes in and wins the Money in the Bank and everyone's just all happy for him and celebrating, and you have this nice sort of friendship moment, which you don't usually get in the WWE. Usually everybody's sort of turning on each other, but you can have that really nice moment of these 3 guys who started off being the weird choir boys and then turning into one of the most popular factions in the entire company, hosting WrestleMania and now winning the WWE Championship. I think that's a pretty cool storyline and so many good twists on the Money in the Bank briefcase gimmick. My other idea is having Braun Strowman win it. This is a lot more straightforward. So I have Braun Strowman win the briefcase, climb down the ladder, pick up the ring bell, hand it to the referee. He has the briefcase in one arm. He then picks up the referee under the other arm, like a rolled up rug or a carpet or something, and then just walks up the ramp, goes to the parking lot. Referee slung in the back of the car along with the briefcase and the ring bell, and then you have Braun getting in the front seat and then just leaning over, and the referee's like, "Where are we going?" And he's like, "We're hunting for Brock Lesnar." And then you have you build to SummerSlam or Extreme Rules perhaps is Braun Strowman stalking Brock Lesnar to hunt him down to do the championship. So you have him like turn up at Brock Lesnar's house. You've got the referee with the ring bell and the briefcase to start the match. You've got like Brock Lesnar's maybe like personal security, maybe like the police called, and you just basically have Braun Strowman with the Money in the Bank briefcase hunting down Brock Lesnar in an attempt to get the championship off him, because we got to get the championship off of Brock Lesnar. That if I was in charge, I think that's a priority. I don't see any point in him. I think Brock needs a little bit of a break. I think Braun Strowman's time is now, quote John Cena's music, and I think Braun Strowman is the one to beat Brock Lesnar, because Roman Reigns probably going to beat Roman Reigns, but for me, Braun Strowman is the man. And I don't want Braun Strowman cashing in the briefcase like sneakily. It needs to be like a fair fight. So maybe you have it that after a while it just gets so chaotic that Paul Heyman is like agrees that at SummerSlam Braun Strowman can cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Brock Lesnar. That's how I do it. Whichever one of those ideas you guys find the most interesting, let me know in the comments below. So women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Ember, Naomi, Natalya and Lana. I give this to Becky Lynch. I just feel like as a character, she's one who needs like a bit more of a boost than the others. They've all got their own little thing going on. I think Becky Lynch could do with a little boost. We've also had like Carmella with the briefcase for a year being the heel who might be threatening to cash in. I think having Becky Lynch with the briefcase again, it's just different than what we just had for the last year. I'd also have, during the match, Sasha have her hands on the briefcase and then have Bayley come in and push the ladder over and cost her the Money in the Bank briefcase. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, but really needs to be starting to pull some triggers on this Sasha Banks and Bayley situation, I think. I'm just realising that I'm reading these matches in the order they're in a WWE website. I've definitely started with the main events first. Oh, well, it's the most interesting matches at the beginning of the video. Guess that works. So, Raw Women's Championship. This is how I do it. Ronda Rousey absolutely brutalises Nia Jax. That is what should happen here. I'm thinking like CM Punk in the UFC levels of potatoing. Just Rousey is a monster. She's your female Brock Lesnar. She's the smiliest woman on the planet when she's outside of the ring, but inside the ring, she needs to be the most dangerous. No discussion, all right? But this is where the twist comes in. So when Ronda Rousey's got Nia absolutely brutalised and it looks like that it's all going to be over, I want pretty much every heel on the women's roster, maybe even some of the baby faces actually, they just come out and they just beat the absolute, like next level beatdown of Ronda Rousey, like a crucifixion level beatdown, like even with like steel chairs, just where they're like, this has gone too far, this has gone too far. Absolutely destroy Ronda Rousey. So the story you want to tell is the frustration of the female superstars with Ronda Rousey essentially coming in at the end of their Royal Rumble match, stealing the spotlight and making it all about her. Maybe you can even say how she stole the show at WrestleMania. And then also in her first ever singles match, she's getting a WWE Women's Championship handed to her after coming in saying that she wanted to earn everything. And I think that is the story you want to tell from the female superstar side, and that is the motive behind their decimation of Ronda Rousey. Is like, if nobody gets anything handed to them in this business. And then the story you want to tell with Rousey is that she then has a list of every single person who was involved in that attack, and then the next couple of months, whether, is her systematically hunting them down like dogs, crossing names off the list until maybe you get at the end like Alexa Bliss or something. And then as Ronda Rousey's beating everybody up, she's gaining more credibility in the eyes of the fans as well, who probably don't quite believe that she has truly earned her right to get a title shot as of yet. Even though she's Ronda Rousey, probably the biggest name who's ever been in women's wrestling in history. I'd even like throw in a line at Alexa Bliss, like we did to Ronda Rousey what the guys didn't have the guts to do to Brock Lesnar when he was taking their championship shots. Some sort of like nice cutting thing like that. Women's Revolution, hashtag, all that sort of good stuff. Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. Oh man. I have Roman Reigns kill Jinder Mahal. If I'm trying to book Roman Reigns like a babyface, he needs to be like this no-nonsense, absolute killing machine. Like H2O Delirious is in our WWE YouTuber series. Like, it doesn't matter if you're face or heel, Roman Reigns needs to end you. He should be kissing up to the fans, should be pretty much horrible to everybody, because it just makes him seem cooler. The cooler guys not like kissing up to everybody. The cooler guys are like kind of aloof, but not like Roman Reigns, not like lame Roman Reigns aloof. Just like legitimately doesn't care about anything apart from just beating people up and winning. Plus as well, you want to make Roman Reigns a babyface in this match, he ends it quick. He gets this one over. Because I'm worried what the Chicago crowd would do to this one. I don't know what sadist decided that this would be a good idea. But yeah, I think Roman Reigns, in my world, it kills Jinder Mahal. SmackDown Women's Champion, Asuka needs to destroy Carmella in absolutely convincing fashion. I've realised that I've got quite a lot of squashes here, haven't I? This is like the third one. Maybe I'd move the matches around a little bit to try and spread these out. But I have Asuka destroy Carmella and James Ellsworth. I think you have James Ellsworth maybe make a return to give Carmella a little hope spot, but I think Asuka beats Carmella here because then you have the storyline of she's got Charlotte's championship, even though that Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania. Asuka's still the champion, so you've then got that kind of, so you got this flip of Charlotte now chasing Asuka for the championship because Carmella, I think, played her role in this story. But I think that's done, and get rid of her, I think. Seth Rollins versus Elias. This is your really good wrestling match portion of the card. So in amongst the carnage, the ladders, and the Jinder Mahals, and the James Ellsworths, and the such like, this is where Seth Rollins and Elias put on an absolute beast of a match, I think. I love both of those guys. Seth Rollins is probably, apart from AJ Styles, one of the best in the world in the moment. Thankfully, he sort of got back to that point he was before he got injured, which is just great news for everybody. I think Elias is excellent, but I think Seth's on such a roll, I don't think you end that just yet. So I think this is just very, very standard, excellent, lovely match where everyone looks good. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Oh man, Big Cass. I have this be more competitive than the other ones. I think you sort of do the Big Cass beating up Daniel Bryan, and then he does a comeback kind of deal. I think Daniel Bryan taps out Cass again, mainly because what I'm thinking is who's adding more value to the top end of your main event players? Is it Big Cass or is it Daniel Bryan? Who's going to sell more tickets in that upper half of the show? I think it's going to be Daniel Bryan. And also, I think once AJ and Nakamura are done with their issue, I've not done their match yet. So once AJ and Nak are done, they're going to need someone else to feud with. And who would you rather see those guys against? Daniel Bryan or Big Cass? So I think Daniel Bryan wins this one. So let's do the last man standing match. I think AJ retains and goes on to feud with Samoa Joe. I'm not saying actually no, because that's a prediction. I would have AJ retain and then go on to feud with Samoa Joe. I would, if this was me, I'd be building AJ up as one of the greatest of all time. That would be the sort of thing I'd be pushing. That he's not just the best in the world now, is that he's pushing he's the best that ever was. And I think he needs to keep hold of the WWE Championship to add to that mystique. What happens to Nakamura? I'd pair him up with The Miz. I'd have Nakamura and The Miz be a little faction. I do love a faction. I think maybe you throw in Almas in there as well, old Andrade. Maybe you see Daniel Bryan trying to get to the Miz, but then Nakamura stands in his way. You can sort of see Miz boasting that Nakamura and Daniel Bryan is the appetizer to the real dream match of Daniel Bryan versus the Miz. So I think Miz and Nakamura would have really good chemistry. So I'd like to see that happen. And oh my days, what a note to finish on here. Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. Holy smokes, guys. I know, again, I sort of know that writing for the WWE is really, really hard. It's probably one of the toughest jobs in entertainment when you think about what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to create content which can be viewed by everybody. They don't have a target audience. They are trying to write storylines for everyone in the world. That's hard. That is so hard. No one else tries to do that. No other TV show on the planet tries to reach everyone. So that's what they do. So it's one of the hardest jobs to write for. However, this whole handling of Bobby Lashley's return has been an omni-shambles, I think, by any standard. I don't know what the disconnect's been. There might be some sort of thing backstage, which is why this hasn't worked, maybe last minute changes of heart. But I think it's just all been wrong. The weird thing with the sisters. Why? What are they thinking in their heads that was going to turn out like? I mean, was it just maybe a mismatch of what they thought Bobby Lashley's skills to deliver that was with what they had in mind? I don't know. And Sami Zayn's been amazing in this, trying to turn what has essentially been chicken feces into chicken salad. And he's been doing that like a champ. But Bobby Lashley should be like this absolute no-nonsense destroyer. You can imagine if the Terminator looked into the camera and said, "I love you," really awkwardly. It'd be ruined. Terminator would just be, that just wouldn't be a thing. Imagine if Brock Lesnar did that. Imagine for a second Brock Lesnar saying those things and staring into the camera with that weird kind of kill me now look. See what I mean? It's like that. It's not how you book a monster. And I think when someone's built like Bobby Lashley, I think you have him be a monster. I think he was best in TNA when he was this kind of arrogant, I know I'm a tank, I'm going to beat you, and he does kind of deal. I think that's what Bobby Lashley is, because I don't think he's not the, like, on camera anyway, he doesn't sort of have that kind of gift of the gab. He was always like this soft-spoken guy. So don't let him speak. Just let him beat people up, because you got potential there to have big money legit matches with Brock Lesnar, with Braun Strowman. So in that match, I'd have him absolutely murder Sami Zayn. If it was me, I'd have him like more angry, quite smiley again. Like, I know why they do it, because they feel like the baby faces, if they have human emotions, it makes people like them more. I can see that is the thinking behind it, but I don't know, man. I think people get more out of just seeing big blokes beating up other blokes. I think that's the real quiz. So yeah, I mean, I love Sami Zayn. I wouldn't have him in this match, but if that's the cards that have been dealt, people. So I have Bobby Lashley, unfortunately, take apart Sami Zayn. And oh yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers are facing the Good Brothers for the tag team titles. Bludgeons win. I think again you're keeping them strong, so Bludgeons win in the pre-show. So that is my money. That is how I would book Money in the Bank, guys. By all means, put your own ideas in the comments. By all means, say which ideas you liked, disliked. And I hope you enjoy Money in the Bank. If you're watching this after Money in the Bank, I wonder, let me know. If you're watching this after Money in the Bank, whose ideas did you like more, mine or the WWE's? So yeah, I've been N60 Sean. Smash that like button, obviously, because that's what you're on YouTube. And subscribe with notifications on off of YouTube. And I'll see you next time.